I'm Seamus. Thank you so much for coming.
You've got a great cause worth fighting for. I couldn't wait to get here. That said, I expected, well, more people?
So far, there's only the two of us.
But we're highly motivated.
Well, it's a start.
Some people I knew already were dear friends of mine, like little gray cells and just my stupid opinion.
Lots of interesting things. This is absolutely abominable, and the RCMP are really in the shit here, and they know it.
Hi, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but I think it's time that I needed to speak up.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
Something to watch on TV, horror movie, you shut it off a good bit. We can't shut this off. Every time we close our eyes, the horror movie turns on. So I know for myself, when I close my eyes, I go try to get bit, picture my parents being shot.
Trying to piece together a story that seems so unbelievable.
Let's have a look at this. I'm going to pause it periodically, and I'm going to try and not lose my shit because I was really angry. Really angry. I'm getting really pissed now. I'll preface this by saying I'm strongly urging all of the victims in this, the victims' families, to launch a class action lawsuit against the RCMP. And I would just love to have the RCMP under discovery. I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lawyer would too.
Canadian Mounted Police and their stories. Stories of their courage. Stories of their lives filled with hazard, romance, and adventure. The RCMP story this week, Gunslinger.
Oh my goodness, how many windows do I have open? Hello. Hopefully everything is working. I don't know. The walking dogs. My brain is filled with stuff. Lots of things going on in this world, isn't there? So deep. All kinds of stuff. Good afternoon, Uncle Blazer. And we've got Tara, hello, Tara. Cheryl Clark. Actually, I'm going to scroll down first before I say hello and make sure that everything is going. Is everything going? I'm such an idiot. I don't know. Let me just check. Is everything going? Okay, good. Everything's going. All right. We've got Cheryl. Sad mafioso just woke up to feed the kitties. Which ones? Are they live or are they made of things? Alex McLean. Porcelain, ceramic, something. Lynn, hello. Weird, there was no notification. You find that odd, sad? Really? Are you surprised? Look at this channel. Nikki Lewis, always been like that for years. Hello, Nikki. Nova Scotia citizen. Mainstream media gone berserk with lies. That's because mainstream media is nothing but a public relations firm for bankers. Trace ownership. It's all goes back. Do. Back to the Future. BF. I could have done that. Yeah. Back to the Future. Yeah. Okay. We're going to try and keep it pleasanter today, hopefully. Good afternoon, Christine. Is it afternoon? Afternoon, yes, of course. It is 1:30. 1:20 to 2. Nova Scotia time. Linda. Bush baby. Hermit. G'day, says Hermit. Salty air. Is that Oceanside salty air? Welcome. I don't believe I've seen salty air before. We have new people, which is great. Anybody can. I'm not a very big self-promoter at all. If you'd like to subscribe, I'll say the word. You can. How's that? Nova Scotia needs to see this video to see the government corruption. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I always spitball things, so we'll see what comes out. Bear with me. Loretta countryside. Nova Scotia Blue Nose. Notice somebody followed me on the tweeters. Only 2 years late to the story. Oh, they circle, don't they? One day. Keep the cards. RCMP biggest criminal organization. Well, there seems to be certainly some things awry. Truth in all. Welcome, truth in all. Frenchton's. Snippy Pinky. Sewing. Nick Cole. I don't know. Is it like Nick or Nick Cole? Nicole? I don't know. Where is it? Who is it that doesn't like my smoking? Faye. Love the jersey. Yeah, I've got a few Canadian jerseys. I like Canada. Canada's a good country. And, despite being small and quiet generally, a lot of stuff starts off here and gets tested here. Whatever. Intelligentsia is not too weak here either. They've always been... What? They're always gone. We're just waking up now. See how really bad it is. I'll tell you, I've been around this game for a while, at least the intelligence community. And I don't even know which way is up. I don't think they know which way is up anymore. They're in every pocket and every hole. I don't know who's friend or foe anymore. Hermit, Loretta, Glen B. He's living in the mountain standard zone, I think. So. Been here from the start. Okay. My apologies, Salty. Salt airy. Sorry, I get confused because I get sweatshirts from my girlfriend that say, what is it? Salty something. Sometimes I wear them. Some kind of joke about me. Oh, there we go. Hey, listen, I've been, I reached out and Rage, and some time back, and months ago, I haven't heard back. Hopefully you are well. Hopefully that you are well, my friend. Sneaky Pinky, all the new account is so. Yes, shut down old account. Oh, I hear Nova scratching at the door. I have also Pitbull today. Luckily they get along. What is it? Then you come inside. Come here. Oh no. Okay, now I've got pit bulls in here too. Okay. Holy crap, just woke up in time. Oh. What time is it for you? Is you waking up in the afternoon? Freedom Jersey. Good day. Just say up yours. Hello. Space Explorer. Okay, Cheryl. And we've got Christiana. Hello. Want to see? No, my girlfriend always buys clothes. It's not a judgment on me, please. For pets, I don't understand clothes for pets. Exactly. Kind of odd. Animals taking part. Looks like your dog. Ted. Mr. Ted. Yes. Okay. I don't know. She's going to stare at me. Now, got to put you on the big screen. Oh, no. That would... I hope that you can turn the picture off or something. Actually, I've got articles, so it's good. Bahahaha. Cute pop. Okay. So I wanted to go back and revisit Brenda. I'm trying to, because I see, a bigger story. I've seen a bigger story I think all of us have for a long time. And I want to go through and try and kind of sew some pieces together. So that's kind of what I've been doing in the last little bit and suggest, plausible alternatives. I don't know. There's a lot of smoke screens that are getting thrown up, and I'm not sure how much of that is, in fact, the root story. Obviously, we all know that the story that was floated seems to be kind of shit. Seems to be. Cried a lot last week, or in this week. Don't be crying. Don't be crying, please. The dog diaper. Okay. You cry. Now, how am I doing this here? I should have done this before. We'll do like this. Okay. I do. Okay. And then we'll go like that. Does that work? Anyway, if you can send me an email, Cage, that would be great. So, let's go back here. I don't want to lose people. I think some people tune out after a little bit. It's still pretty good. I think I get about average 40-minute watch time, which is pretty good. And I think people generally just go back and watch later. Like, they stop when they need to and then go back later. Because I don't always have all the good stuff at the front. And like I said, it's just kind of spitballs. He was a psychopath. Okay. May 12th. Now, the dates on everything, there's a lot of cover stories that are run all the time. And this is how they kind of divert your attention into something else. Now, I'm not saying this is in fact so, because obviously the only truth that is known, going back to my philosophy classes, basically is that one exists. So you can never say anything definitively is true, but I try to use as much evidence to try and draw a conclusion. May 12th was a busy day for Brenda, and busy day kind of in the leading up to May 19th. May 19th, we had Leon also. And May 19th was the first warrant release. And so there was a lot of pumping the abuse narrative, and that was when it all started, was May 12th, in the public's eyes. So Brenda did at least 2 interviews. She did one with Joan Baxter with the Halifax Examiner, and she also did one with Michael Tutton of the Canadian Press, which then ran, Canadian Free Press, which ran all over the place. Former resident of Portapique says she called RCMP to tell them future gunman assaulted her domestic partner and that he had a lethal weapon. So I've done quite a few stories on Brenda. Things, she kind of disappeared from the picture. I think maybe that was on purpose. Hopefully I'm not harassing this woman. That's not my intent, and please do not harass her. Never my intent to harass or, in this day and age, there's all this nonsense of people are violent and all this other hoo-ha. I am not a person that believes in that kind of stuff. This is basically my weapon, right? Which sometimes works. So May 12th. Now, you're getting a lot of sewing of stuff. This article contains graphic descriptions of assault. Okay, so they're setting everybody up for things. I would say that son of a bitch is dead. First thing she thought of, Bo thought of. Murder spree started in Portapique, blah, blah, blah. Telephone interview now lives in Western Canada. Well, I mean, maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. She never updated her LinkedIn. I would say that there's evidence to point to the fact that her husband still lives there. So in Nova Scotia. So I'm not sure if she ever really moved. When I did a Google search way back when and dated the search, she did come up in a lot of articles, interestingly enough, out of Camrose, I believe it is, Camrose. And but those were all post 19th, April 19th. In fact, I think it may have started on April 19th. Nothing prior, which I always found very odd. It was like she just appeared in town. I don't know. Call it what you will. Let me close this door here. Okay. Now, Bo said soon after she and her husband met Gabriel Wortman at the first time at Portapique, they concluded, in their estimation, he was a psychopath. Soon after they moved there. Okay. Or, sorry, when he first came, they concluded that right away. Interesting. And then they decided to sell their beautiful home and move to Halifax. But even there, they didn't feel safe. Now, when I was reviewing this article, was it this one? Give me one moment, please. Oh, yes. Right here. Sorry, my apologies. I don't know how I missed this, but for some reason I did. But the awful experience of Gabriel Wortman has never left her. She says she's been interviewed many times by May 12th. So, families who are watching, please take note of dates and things like that, because, does that coincide with what your understanding is? Is she being interviewed many times prior to May 12th? I don't know. By the RCMP Serious Incidents Response Team. Now, that's a bit of a convoluted mess, because you have both the RCMP and the Serious Incidents Response Team in the same sentence. They're supposedly, though I've shown they're not at all, separate entities. The Serious Incidents Response Team is supposed to be independent. But what is the Serious Incidents Response Team? I find that would be very interesting that a journalist would publish that incorrectly. What is CERT? What is the CERT mandate? Mission and mandate, CERT, Serious Incidents Response Team. Felix's wheelhouse. Felix and Ronnie. Ronnie down there with I-Hit. Mission and mandate. The mission of the Nova Scotia. Who started it? Ronnie. Ronnie! Is he getting things referred to him now? By Felix? Oh, yes. Sorry. Nova Scotia Serious Incidents Response Team is to, do this stuff, whatever. Mandate is to investigate all matters that involve death, serious injury, sexual assault, and domestic violence, or other matters of significant public interest. What's this part here? That may have arisen from actions of any police officer in Nova Scotia. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, please correct me always if I'm wrong. I don't see anybody in this menage group, and I'm just being figurative, being Gabriel Wortman, Lisa Banfield, or Brenda, that is a what? Police officer. Do you? CIs aren't CERT. And at the very beginning of all of this, yes, very interesting question I see there. Very interesting. At the very beginning of all of this, remember that we had 3 matters referred to CERT, and then one got kicked back. So you can obviously say the shooting of Gabriel Wortman is 1. The shooting of Chad Morrison is 2. And people have always speculated about the 3rd. Does that involve Shuby and or is it something else? I don't know. Do you find that very peculiar? I do. I'm seeing a lot of things here that are leading me to think something that I thought a long time ago, and I don't think I was too wavering in that. Real police car, as in real, as in fully 100% decked out, which I still have never received one email, message, anything, and I have hunted for, since the beginning of all of this, a real, fully equipped police car owned by a citizen. That hasn't happened. Not in the United States. You get all kinds of cardboard boxes and different colored lights and all of this other stuff. Not one that has, tuning forks and radar guns and rear-facing radar guns and the Motorola radio system and blah, 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 tough books and whatever else. No. So to me, like I said at the beginning, I don't think it's fair to call that. Stop that, please. I don't think it's fair to call that a mock police cruiser because they were so fast to come out and say that. And I'm like, well, how do we really know that yet? Definitively. It certainly look very real. I'm just saying that that's a possibility. Hey, stop. Please. Please. Come. Please. Just a sec. Gotta let her out. Okay. There you go. Okay. Okay, good stuff. Now, so we have real police car. We have real badge. Never talked about. I find this odd. Why has the real badge never been mentioned other than here? It seems to be very strange that this one has steered clear of. We know that one of Lisa's female relatives referred to it, I believe, in the warrants. She was aware of a real police badge. Mr. Campbell, Darren, superintendent, referred to it in the press conference. He said, police badge. Now, how does one get their hands on a police badge? They come in acrylic plastic, the RCMP ones anyways do. These giant cubes, paperweights, totally useless. Hi, I'm a police officer. No. So I'm not sure where he's getting a badge. And I'm not sure of a private civilian who can go to a Brinks facility. Confidential informant or not. Confidential informants don't go to the Brinks facility. Money is issued to them by the RCMP, who, funnily enough, guess what? Oh, they do, at the highest levels, go to Brinks facilities. I'm just proposing a possibility, because I can see different elements sewing together here. So we have the serious incidents response team. Not sure. She also reached out to Linda and Jean. Jean, of course, who's married to former sergeant in the RCMP, who operate Persons Against Non-State Torture, whose entire mandate is to go after individual citizens and avoid what? Oh, the state. That's right. So it's kind of handy to talk to her. Not sure, if you, I guess that's probably because Linda and Brenda are friends, from the best of my understanding. Could be wrong, but I believe they were Facebook friends before this all happened, so that was interesting. At least from what I could see. And of course, this is a great organization to run cover for the RCMP. And then she reached out to Linda and Jean, whose self-funded campaign, I would say that's predominantly government-funded, appearing in the UN, etc., aims to combat torture. McDonald were Sarsons on the recent statement, which was an interesting statement. Feminists calling for femicide. Of course, you had all of the women's groups that came out. Observatory was an interesting one, right at the beginning. How they know these things, I just don't know. And she recounted that and then After Bo spoke with them, McDonald asked if she would share her story with the Halifax Examiner, and I guess also Mr. Tutton of the Canadian Free Press. Okay. Bo said it was around 2004, long after Gabriel Wortman bought his house in Port-au-Prince. Okay, so 2004. Okay. 2004. I don't know if there's anything else other than in this particular article to look at. No, I suppose we can go back to it if there is. Now, 2004. Okay, let's go to CBC. As it happens, I'm tempted to listen to the whole interview again. I haven't listened to it in a long time. Just remember the date, please. 2004. June 10th. This was updated from May 13th because Brenda was, like I said, pretty busy doing interviews. Let's see. Is that big enough? I don't know. Update. After this story was published, RCMP told the Globe and Mail it has identified 2 police officers who responded in 2013 weapons and domestic complaint against Gabriel Wortman and are reviewing how it was handled. What is this? Police initially told CBC, what is that? Oh, no record of any such complaint. Destruction of evidence. And then they're saying they're also reviewing the policy under which some RCMP records are deleted after 2 years. 2013. Okay. 2013. But years before that, in 2013, Forbes says she warned RCMP that Wortman was a dangerous man who beat his girlfriend and kept a cache of weapons at his home. When was that again? 2004? 2013. 9 years. 9 years. Okay. Is it in here? You and your husband said that you knew he had these illegal firearms. How did you know? Good question. We're military, or we were. We're both retired now. And he'd had us at the house when he first moved there and showed them to us. 2004. Okay. And we knew right away there's no way he could have got them here in Canada. What weapons did he have then? Were they banned weapons in Canada? Prohibited weapons in Canada? They would have to be prohibited. They're in the military. They would know. That would be some heavy-duty firepower. Number one, he didn't have he didn't have an FAC. I guess she's kind of older, so we'll excuse that. I still refer to it sometimes as FAC as opposed to RCMP, even in their own press conferences, refer to it as an FAC, even though they run the program. It's PAL. But I'm not dumping on Brenda about that. We're all getting older. We knew right away. 2004. Sorry? Did you ever tell the RCMP you saw those firearms? When I had then I had that interview with them, I told them. When was that again? Years before that, 2013, 2004, 9 years. So you knew right away that he had illegal weapons, which would be some heavy-duty firepower. They'll have to be something that's on the prohibited list. Because if they're not, well, how would she know? And one doesn't necessarily assume when you see firearms in somebody's house, unless they're pretty shady, that they do not have an FAC. But it took her 9 years. 9 years, because she does go on further in the article and say, what was this? This is a transcription, by the way. So I encourage anybody to want to listen to the full interview. We'll go back and maybe record it. I believe I have a copy of it, but I would record it also if I were you. Things have a way of disappearing and getting edited. So glad to see so many people using the Wayback Machine and archives.org. Now, those sites, just so that you all know, can be edited by request, but you can still try. There's other archiving sites as well, or screen capturing things, saving PDFs of magazine articles and things like that for later reference, because then you can find things. Very good. So let's see here. Brenda, still sorry, same article. When you reflect on this and what you knew over the years, 9 years, observing this, are your thoughts that this possibly could have been prevented? Yes. The laws need to change. If someone gets, whether they are male or female, be assaulted, of course, this is a horrendous thing. If they are abused or whatever, somebody reports it for them because they're too afraid. It should be looked into right away. And if you report somebody who you know has illegal weapons, whether you have pictures of it or what of it, somebody reports that, it should be investigated. Like when? Is it yesterday? Where did I miss that? Oh, zooming is not a good thing. Like yesterday, not like 9 years later. In the military, very concerned about illegal weapons, but decided not to do anything for 9 years. I find that strange. Strange. I don't want to comment too much on all of this stuff that's going on in this country, because there's a lot. There's a lot. But I think don't lose focus of Nova Scotia. They are really running for the hills on this one, and have been the whole time. I'm not saying ignore what's going on. Obviously, I don't. But Nova Scotia is a serious, serious problem. Let's see if we can find some other things. Why though would you do that? I don't know. Do you guys have any? Brenda's hubby used to write for PPCLI, yes. Not boo about either of them as CF. I did find reference to them being retired. Thesis. Why are American agents participating in warrant suppression hearings about a crime that takes place in Canada involving Canadian citizens? Of course, it's sealed, but we know that a person did give testimony in respect to that. Why does that matter? So a lot of stuff was getting thrown out then about all of this. We had the Globe and Mail article. Let's see. I got a little folder on Brenda with a few things in it. So we've been through the history of Brenda over the past 2.5 years. By the way, anybody who is new watching this is not my first video doing this. And I'm doing this for a friend. We all are doing this for a variety of reasons, but Tara is a good friend, and she lost half her family that night. And friends don't walk away from friends. Okay. So thank you all for staying with this story. Now we have Brenda's original LinkedIn, which still was around until after I kind of pointed it out. Where did it say she lived again? Bass River. Right around the corner. That got changed, of course. Got quite a hefty set of medals, kind of like a Nick Dorrington. Now it says Camrose. Camrose. Where did she work again? Oh, did she take that out on this one? Independent sector. Independent sector. Out of Washington, D.C., doing personal security with her service dog for PTSD. Okay. It's an equal opportunity person, I guess. Who is independent sector? Well, we've been through that. Independent sector seems to be some kind of, I don't know, amalgamator of people who want to donate money to charities. Yeah, seems pretty weird. I don't know how you go and work there, Washington, D.C., out of Camrose. Maybe, you never know. I did find this one reference once upon a time. Found it rather interesting. It's been removed. Independent sector. The correct address and the correct suite number, 900, Washington, D.C. Defense Consulting Agency. Ties to, who's that? Is it Hines? Is the CEO? Rockefeller Foundation. Very interesting. Not sure. Maybe it's not so charitable. Maybe we're talking about something here. Maybe Brenda is something more than what Brenda appears. Is that possible? Let's see if there's a connection to somebody in this story. Okay? Going to introduce a new player to the story. I don't believe his name has surfaced yet. Richard Balen, Chief Superintendent, RCMP. Mom, just like Darren. We're down in Australia too. So Australia and Ukraine are kind of common factors. Currently, senior Canadian police practitioner, chief super in the RCMP. Last 30 years, international domestic police experience as manager, supervisor, instructor, investigator, subject matter, expert, facilitator in all kinds of areas. Wow, these write-ups. Excuse me. I have diverse police background, including overseeing international operations, Interpol, covert operations, serious organized crime, UN program management. Who is it? UN. Yeah. International capacity building. These aren't gravel road cops. General duty policing, protective operations, professional standards, etc. As well as my current role of what? General Director, Covert Operations. Oh, that's a big one. That's the big cheese of all covert operations. Richard Balen. Okay. Have I seen this name before? Dr. Andre M. Levesque. OMM, all kinds of stuff. You seen this name before? You guys got a good memory? I remember a certain name. I have a terrible memory, though. Let's see. Brenda. Working at the safety security consultant down Washington, D.C. from Camrose. Army brat. Lar. Over in Germany. Graduating. Physical security. Corporate security. Oh. Dr. Andre M. Levesque. Balen. Dr. Andre M. Levesque. 1 degree of separation. Oh my. Brenda. PBCLI, I believe, retired, seems to have friends with somebody that's the head of covert operations for all of Canada. Perhaps it's nothing. Perhaps. Andre Levesque, interesting character in himself. Quite a raft of medals and honors. Well, something's going on, I would say. His resume is quite an interesting read. Seems to know Brenda. How he would know Brenda, I'm not exactly sure. They don't seem to run in the same circles, I would say. But I guess I'm wrong. Do you think that Brenda may know the head of covert operations for all of Canada? The one that was the head of covert operations when? Oh, that's right. July 19th, 2019 until present. When did things happen down in Nova Scotia? 2020. Did anybody else find this interesting? I certainly do. Then she's coming out talking to people who CERT, why I have no cigarettes. What is going on? One moment, please. Okay, sorry. Okay. Oh, he's got quite the resume. International Operations Policing Development Director, Interpol Canada. I just can't see how they would know each other. I really can't. Brenda is, not to be rude, but Brenda's a grunt. Mr. Levesque. Less so, I would say. Less so. Yeah. Now, if I recall correctly, let's see if I can find that. Because Andre wrote a paper also, which I found very interesting. Not sure if this is related in any way. Not too sure. Oh, oops. Okay, come on. So many windows. Okay. I think this was his thesis, I believe. If I'm recalling, I'm just going by memory. Mr. Levesque's thesis. Canadian Forces College. Ethical considerations surrounding bioweapons in the 21st century. Lieutenant Colonel Andre Levesque. Interesting. Bioweapons. Okay. Heads the cemetery, or did at one point in time, I believe, for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Beechwood, also for the Canadian Armed Forces down in Ottawa. Tomb of the Unknown Soldier type things. I think may fall under Beechwood. Maybe. Not sure. Don't quote me on that one. Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Let's see what else we've got here. Probably have a couple of other interesting things. Now, why is she in here? Everybody's not. I need to always catch myself. I shouldn't say everybody. It's very interesting, the relationships between people. Many people who should not really, in an ideal world, be related, as in either real or, which of course I can understand, I guess, to a certain extent, or more importantly, business type relationships with other type people who aren't anywhere in the same field. Brenda's story, of course, like we pointed out right when I read through it, because way back when it came out, I think it was the Gerster one, which came out a few days later. Jane Gerster, who ended up getting a book deal. Lots of people get book deals. Oh, yeah, Jean and Linda, of course, got a book deal. Book deals. Kind of like art. Art. Somebody was donating or selling art at quite inflated prices. It was nasty, said Brenda, former neighbor. It went sideways. Jeff saw how messed up things were and said, I don't want to be a part of that family. That family. Mr. Samuelson declined to comment for this story. Jeff Samuelson, of course, the adopted brother down in the United States who had never met him, eerily familiar, almost kind of like a Wardman in many capacities, likes motorcycles, looks kind of the same, very handy, likes to build domes on churches and things. Does he know Brenda? Do you think? Does he know Glenn? Robin Lee? Do they tie together? Do you think? So when we were reading through Brenda's story, it didn't make a lot of sense to me way back when. Because I said, well, it doesn't sound like she actually saw anything. She came down the stairs. She had the flu. And apparently there was quite a scrap with her and Wortman. And Lisa was there and he, quote, drug her out. Which I don't know. But I think in relationships sometimes people are kind of escorted out. Like, let's get out of here. I don't know. She moved. But that was the extent of what she firsthand witnessed. Other than guns, which she failed to report for 9 years. The other event that she recounted, which I found very strange, was not witnessed by her. And I said to myself, and you, when that article came out, why is it that the media doesn't go and interview this person? You know, with the shady screen that nobody could see, the journalist, the photojournalist who was sent out. Gerster, of course, isn't based in Edmonton area. Didn't ask to speak to the person. I think it was her screen recording or something, because nobody would believe her, is what she kept saying. Nobody believes me. Trust me. Nobody believes me. And I said, well, who is saying to you that they don't believe you? But often if you keep saying nobody is believing you and trust me, trust me, trust me, it kind of smacks of, well, I don't know. Maybe it's not true. Some element, something. If you're being honest, you don't really need to keep reinforcing. I think there was 5 times in that article. I was like, whoa, man. Why don't you go and interview the person who it was, who it turned out, of course, was Glenn. And then I said, well, go interview Glenn. This doesn't make any sense. This is what, of course, you would do. A rational person would talk to the witness of the event. We don't want to play Chinese telephone. But of course, then it came out months later, well, Glenn has stage 4 dementia. So Brenda's talking to Glenn, a person who has stage 4 dementia, and no slight on people who have dementia. My grandmother, in the tail end of her life, had dementia. It was tragic. Don't have the best recollection of things. They're not very reliable. You have an appointment today. Well, I think I'm 7 years old. So, talking to somebody who has stage 4 dementia, now I'm not saying that Brenda does. Brenda appears to have quite a shaky thing, but she does security, personal security. Very good. Hopefully that works out well. Not sure I'd want that guarding me, but for a business out of Washington, defense contractor, possibly. Connected to Balen, covert ops, right before the warrant came out. Seems all rather convenient. She said some other things, too, I found interesting. Still got lots more with her. Just encouraging the truth. One of these days, tell the truth. I don't like to call people dishonest or those kinds of things. I'm not even saying that anybody is being dishonest. Just pointing out some facts. And take it as you will, interpret it as you will. Do your own research. Let me know if you find anything interesting, because I think you may. When she was doing the articles, now I don't want to claim anything in case I make a mistake here. He would stop his vehicle right in front of my house. He got out and he stared at me. How well did you really know, Mr. Wortman, Brenda? Where's that article? How well did you know Lisa? Oh, it's not this one. Whoops. CBC. Do you know if she has any friends? Very slanted, by the way, this interview. Buzzwords galore. Warnings. Do you know if she has any friends for something she didn't ever witness? If anyone is helping her, if she has a circle of any kind. When she was with him, she wasn't really allowed to have friends. But she does have a good family. So how well do you think Brenda knows Brian Brewster? Uh-oh. And James Banfield, both of which are charged, and Lisa. And to mention of unauthorized transportation, not transfer, but transportation, and prohibited ammunition. Ooh. I'm smelling something that happened down in the United States. Possibly. Smells like Fast and Furious. Possibly. Those of you aware of Fast and Furious? Illegal weapons. Government. Possible. Just throwing it out there. Pointer cars. Judges who may have a conflict of interest who gets it. Trials that, because of emergency hearings, don't take place until after the Nova Scotia Mass Casualty Commission, which just keeps getting pushed aside. Something about a video I did earlier, which I guess they took a hint from and maybe said something about in the media. Although, apparently, that clause no longer applies now that we're in February. Or does it? Oh, it most certainly does. Who else do you think might be connected? Do you think there's other people? Maybe. Okay, well, just throw a little bit more out there. Get your feedback. I want to hear it. Because, it's very big. There are not enough notebooks. I just try and do it here because I don't have enough space for whiteboards in my house. All the strings that attach people that really shouldn't be attached, people that somehow seem like they're supposed to be on the right side of things. Maybe they're not. Politicians seem to know other people. Well, is it just that she's jealous? Maybe there's something else going on. What's going on here? What are you doing, little one? You know. Oh, so nice. I'm glad. That I got to meet so many great people from Nova Scotia. Gave me a name for my dog. She's such a nice girl. Yes, I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful that people will do the right thing because you always have the choice. Things can get messy. Facts can come out. Then it's hard to come back from because you live in a community. People will know your name, your face. Best to save everybody the time and just come clean. Say, well, fucked up. Really bad. Sorry. People are forgiving. People are forgiving. Many people have forgiven me. This is why I know that, in fact, it's possible. We all have it within our hearts. Some people it takes longer. Some people never do, I guess. But most people, funnily enough, are quite forgiving. Having a visit about step work the other day with somebody. Those of you who don't know, I used to be an alcoholic, or am an alcoholic. My apologies. I am an alcoholic. I just don't drink. I haven't for years. And we were talking about forgiveness. and how I was advising them as to how scary it is sometimes to approach people and say, I did wrong. I just did wrong. If I can make amends, I will, but I need to come clean. But it's such a unburdening of one's soul to do that. That's possible. Yes, Blue Nose, possible. They never will come clean. I believe in the redemption of humans. I really do. I think there are people who are reprobate in the Christian sense of the word. They're absolutely beyond redemption. And those people are write-offs, and we just need to ostracize ourselves from that. But almost all people aren't in that category, because Satan, though he rules this world, we are children of God. And it's up to us to fight that spiritual war. Spiritual war. Not go down the roads that they want people to go down. Not act the way that they act. Act in ways that are contrary to what they do. Deceit, dishonesty, violence. These things are not characteristics that good humans want, irrespective of your religion. Anyway, even the fine print says you cannot admit fault. But you can. It's a choice. It's a choice. And it shows true courage, true balls. Man up. People are tired of it. They just are. They really are. I think we're seeing that exhibiting in the world, the beginning stages of that. And it's very complicated. And it's millennia old. Right? Right, Novi? But in order for us to live good lives, we have to clean up our own backyards. You know, ourselves. And watch out for one another. You know, the mask principle on the airplane. Yes, I think I will leave the rest for now. But it's another piece. God bless you all. God bless the 23. And I pray every night. God watches over all of us. Because we are in a time of trial. And true people, true goodness will come through. But it's up to us. God bless you all. God bless the 23. Thanks for joining.